If you have ADHD and you've tried 100 morning routines and none of them have stuck, I want to show you why. Almost every morning routine out there assumes you wake up with stable dopamine, sharp executive function, and the ability to make a dozen decisions before breakfast. For the ADHD brain, those things are in short supply in the morning, which is why routines that work fine for everyone else tend to fall apart for us. I'm a naturopathic doctor, a functional medicine practitioner, and I also have ADHD myself. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact morning routine I use every day and recommend to many of my patients. It's systemized, it's automated, and it's designed for an ADHD brain. I'll show you each step, explain the science behind why it works, and show you how to build a version that actually sticks for you. So if mornings are brutal for you, I want you to know there's actual science behind why. This isn't about willpower or motivation. There are specific things happening in the ADHD brain in the morning that make this genuinely harder for us than it is for other people. The ADHD brain has lower baseline dopamine, a sluggish or dysregulated cortisol awakening response, and weaker executive function. And that executive function is weakest in the morning and late at night, which is why mornings feel impossible and why you may not be able to wind down and get to bed at a reasonable hour either. So when you wake up and your brain feels completely offline, when you can't decide what to do first, when getting out of bed feels like climbing a mountain, or when you reach for your phone before your feet even hit the floor, that's a brain that doesn't have the chemistry it needs yet to do what you're asking of it. I see this constantly in my practice. When I ask my patients with ADHD what the hardest part of their day is, the vast majority say mornings. And almost every single one of them has tried some version of the perfect morning routine they may have saw on YouTube. For instance, the 5 a.m. wake up with a matcha latte and the hour-long meditation before a cold plunge. And most of them have put real effort into trying to make those routines work. What I want them and you to hear is that when something doesn't stick, that's important information. It usually means the routine wasn't built for the way your brain actually works. So here's the reframe I want you to carry through the entire video. A morning routine isn't a discipline test, it's scaffolding. It's a way of taking the load off a brain that doesn't have a lot of horsepower yet, by letting your environment and your systems do the heavy lifting for you. We're not trying to turn you into a 5 a.m. machine, we're trying to give your brain a soft, predictable place to land when it wakes up. One with so little friction that doing the routine is actually easier than not doing it. And that last part is extremely important. So before I walk you through my actual routine, I want to start with the principle that makes the whole thing work. The first thing you need to understand is that your ADHD morning self is the worst possible version of you at making decisions. So the rule is very simple. Every decision that can be made the night before has to be made the night before, or even before that. Every object you need has to already be in its place. If your routine requires you to think, search, choose, or remember anything in the moment, the odds of it actually happening drop significantly. So in my house, the night before, my bottle of water is already on my nightstand. My Muse meditation device is sitting right on my meditation mat, which is already laid out on the floor. My SAD lamp is already on my desk. My treadmill at my standing desk is ready to go. My phone is on airplane mode and stays that way until I'm ready for it. That's the foundation. I don't have more discipline than anyone else, I have less friction. That is the difference. When my routine requires zero decisions, my brain is able to go through it relatively on autopilot. When your routine requires you to find your supplements, pick a meditation, remember to charge your watch, decide what to eat, your brain checks out before step 2. So now let me walk you through my actual routine. Step 1 is water. The first thing I do when I wake up is drink from the bottle of water that's already sitting on my nightstand. It's right there, I drink it, and I'm on to the next thing. The reason this is step 1 is simple. You're dehydrated when you wake up. You just spent 8 hours without water, and dehydration is a known cause of fatigue and brain fog. Rehydrating right away gives your brain a small but real lift before you ask it to do anything else. It's the lowest effort, highest return move in the entire routine. Step 2 is a 10-minute meditation using the Muse device. Next, I walk over to my meditation mat, which again is already set up with my Muse device sitting on it, and I do a 10-minute meditation. The Muse is an EEG headband that gives me real-time feedback on my brain activity, which I love because it gives my ADHD brain a little hit of dopamine from the gamification of it. I'll provide a discount code below if you're interested in trying the Muse, but honestly, you don't need a fancy device, the point is the meditation. Here's why this matters physiologically. Meditation in the morning helps regulate your cortisol awakening response, which, as I mentioned, tends to be dysregulated in people with ADHD. It also activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for executive function, and gives it a little warm up before you start asking it to do hard things. Think of it like stretching a muscle before a workout. You wouldn't ask your hamstring to sprint cold, and you shouldn't ask your prefrontal cortex to plan your day cold either. Step 3 is affirmations and goals on autoplay. This one is a little unusual, but I love it. After meditation, I pull out my phone, still in airplane mode, and I open my task management app called Things 3. This is where I have a recurring daily task that contains my long-term goals and my personal affirmations. And I have my phone read it out loud to me using text-to-speech, so I just listen. The reason I do this comes from a concept called auto-suggestion, which Napoleon Hill wrote about in the book Think and Grow Rich. The idea is that what you repeatedly tell yourself, especially in this suggestible state right after waking, becomes the lens you use to see the rest of your day. Your subconscious is essentially being programmed in those first few minutes, and most people are programming it with notifications, with news, and with other people's drama. I'd rather program mine with my own goals and values. It takes about 3 minutes and it completely reframes how I walk into the day. And if this has been helpful so far, take a second to like the video because that helps YouTube to show it to more people who may really benefit from this information. Step 4 is movement and light exposure. If the weather is decent, I go outside for a walk. If it's raining or dark, I turn on my SAD lamp at my standing desk and walk on my treadmill instead. The science here is some of the most powerful in the whole routine. Morning sunlight, even on a cloudy day, is one of the strongest signals you can give your brain to start producing dopamine and for it to properly time your cortisol awakening response. It also sets your circadian rhythm for the day, which means you'll actually be tired at night, which means tomorrow morning will be easier. It's a feedback loop, and morning light is the lever that turns it. Movement does the same thing from a different angle. Even 5 or 10 minutes of walking boosts dopamine and norepinephrine, and those are the exact same neurotransmitters that ADHD medications target. Combine the light and the movement, and you've done more for your brain in 10 minutes than most things you'll do all day. Step 5 is plan the day with intention. I open the app Things 3 and I briefly review my quarterly goals, my weekly goals, and my daily actions. And I make any adjustments that I need to. Then I pull up a Notion template where I jot down how I'm feeling, what I'm grateful for, and any other thoughts I may want to jot down. And here's the part that changes everything. I don't just write the tasks on a list, I actually time block the important ones into my calendar. I assign each one a specific window when it's going to get done. Because here's the truth I've learned the hard way as a person with ADHD. A to-do list is a fantasy. A calendar is a commitment. When something doesn't have a slot in the day, it doesn't happen. And when you write down 27 things on a list, your brain freezes, picks 0 of them, and then beats you up about it for the rest of the day. 3 calendar block tasks beats a 20-item to-do list every single time. And step 6 is fuel, protein smoothie, and supplements. This last step is breakfast, and this is where the automation principle really shines. Every Sunday, I prep mason jars for the entire week. Each jar gets preloaded with my protein powder, cacao powder, fiber, creatine, glutamine, and some nuts. So in the morning, the entire process looks like this. I grab the jar, unscrew the lid, dump it in the blender, add unsweetened almond milk, throw in a handful of organic frozen blueberries and a couple of chunks of organic frozen avocado, and hit blend. From start to finish, it takes maybe 90 seconds of effort. 0 decisions, 0, what should I have for breakfast paralysis? And then while the smoothie is going, I take my supplements, which again are already preloaded in their own small glass jars. Pop them in my mouth, wash them down with the smoothie, and we're done. Now let me explain why this matters so much physiologically. Protein in the morning is one of the most underrated levers for the ADHD brain, and here's why. The amino acid tyrosine, which you get from protein, is the direct precursor your body uses to make dopamine. So when you eat protein in the morning, you're literally giving your brain the raw materials it needs to produce more of the exact neurotransmitter it's already low on. Compare that to the standard breakfast of cereal, toast, or a pastry, which spikes your blood sugar, crashes it an hour later, and leaves your already struggling brain even more dysregulated by 10 a.m. The fiber in the smoothie slows the glucose response and feeds your gut microbiome, which matters because your gut produces a huge amount of your neurotransmitters. The healthy fats from the avocado and nuts stabilize your blood sugar even further and support brain health. The blueberries give you antioxidants and polyphenols, and the cacao gives you a little natural mood lift without the crash. The real point is that I made every decision once, on Sunday, and then never have to think about breakfast again all week. That's the entire philosophy of this routine in one image, the mason jars in my cupboard. Decide once, execute on autopilot. Now here's the most important thing in this entire video, and it's the reason every previous routine you've tried has probably fallen apart. You built the routine for your best day, and then on a normal day or a bad day you couldn't do all of it, so you did none of it, and over time the routine just stopped happening. The solution is to build 3 versions of your routine: an ideal day version, a most likely day version, and a minimum day version. On an ideal day, the days where I wake up rested and motivated, I do everything I just walked you through. All 6 steps: the full meditation, the walk outside, the full planning session, and the smoothie. On a most likely day, which is honestly most days, I shrink it a bit. Water, yes. A shorter meditation, maybe 5 minutes instead of 10. A quick walk or treadmill session. The essential planning, like the top 3 tasks blocked into the calendar, and then the smoothie and the supplements, which take 90 seconds, whether it's a good day or a bad day, so they always make the cut. On a minimum day, the days where I wake up feeling low energy, low motivation, or the thought of doing the whole routine feels impossible, I have a non-negotiable minimum. Water, 5 minutes of sunlight or sad lamp with a 5-minute walk, and the smoothie and the supplements. 1 to 2 tasks in the calendar, and that's it. Less than 10 minutes of total effort. But notice, even on my worst day, I'm still hydrating, still getting light exposure, still fueling my brain with protein, and still committing to at least one thing. This way my momentum doesn't break. And here's why this matters so much. On minimum days, the goal isn't productivity, the goal is not breaking the momentum. Because the moment you skip a day entirely, the routine becomes something I used to do, and getting back to it is much harder than just doing the 7 to 10 minute version. The minimum exists so you still get to be someone who does a morning routine even on your worst day. This is the single biggest mindset shift I had to make as a person with ADHD. The routine isn't there to optimize my best days, it's there to protect me on my worst days. And one last thing, and this might be the most important sentence in the entire video. Your phone stays in airplane mode for at least the first 30 to 60 minutes after you wake up. No email, no text, no social media, and no news. Here's why. When you wake up, your dopamine baseline is low. That's normal, that's the ADHD brain. Now, the moment you check your phone, you flood that depleted system with the cheapest, fastest dopamine hits available. Notifications, likes, messages, news, headlines, drama. And it feels good in the moment, but what you've just done is set the bar for what your brain considers rewarding so high that everything else in the day, the actual work, the planning, the meaningful tasks, feels boring and unrewarding by comparison. You spent your entire day's dopamine budget in the first 3 minutes, and then you wonder why you can't focus on anything that matters for the next 12 hours. This is the pattern I see in many of my patients with ADHD who come to me struggling with focus and motivation. And many of them see noticeable improvement just by keeping their phone in airplane mode for the first hour of the day. It's free, it's instant, and it's probably the single highest leverage change you can make. So to sum it up, ADHD mornings are hard for real biological reasons, and the fix isn't more willpower, it's removing friction with systems and automation so your brain doesn't have to make decisions when it has the least capacity to make them. Build a routine you can actually sustain by creating 3 versions of it: the ideal day, the most likely day, and the minimum day, so you never break the momentum. Anchor the whole thing with water, meditation, light exposure, movement, intentional planning, and a protein-rich breakfast. And protect your dopamine by keeping your phone in airplane mode for the first hour. If you do nothing else from this video, just put your phone in airplane mode, try it for 3 days, and let me know what happens in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, I have another video that I'll link to here that I think you'll really enjoy, diving much deeper into the importance of movement in the morning. And if you want help building a personalized root cause plan for your ADHD, looking at the underlying physiology, the labs, the lifestyle, and the systems together, I'd love to support you. If you're interested, check out the link below to set up a discovery call with me.